If you're looking for the perfect size yet charming SUV, this car that we have today might be the answer for you. What we have here today is the facelifted Audi Q5 in its S-Line trim. You have wider grille, wider than its predecessor at least, but no less shallower. You get this honeycomb design that kind of instantly reminds you that this is an Audi. It's nothing else on the road. You look at this and you know that it has to be an Audi, can't be anything else. And as with all Audis, you get LED headlights and of course fog lamps right here. The whole S-Line trim gives you this silver chrome stuff around, kind of makes it a little bit trendier, makes it feel very current. You drive this car and it just feels like you're quite fashionable. You're quite out there, you know, in that sense. Kind of makes you feel young, or at least that's how it made me feel. At the side, nothing much has changed, at least not visibly. You still get this bold, dynamic line that runs through from the bonnet right through to the tail lights here. But it's at the side where you realize that, you know what, it's the perfect size. Why? Because it's not as big as a full-size 7-seater SUV, but it's also not small and rubbish like a compact one, like a hatchback on stilts. This is a proper, perfectly sized SUV for your family. Now, just as perfect is the OLED lights here. Now, the tail lights is something quite special, I must say. It is customizable. It kind of moves around, like moves around. It's quite cool because in comfort mode, it has a specific design, but when I toggle it to sport mode, it actually changes. It will just do its thing and then it'll form a new design. It's actually more apparent at night. Then of course you have this aluminum strip that runs across the width of the back. Now if I were to cover the moniker up, I think the casual observers might mistake this for a Q7, but obviously it's not, which is why it's a 5 here, and of course we have a Quattro, which means all-wheel drive. More importantly and more relevantly, what you are looking at here is 550 litres worth of boot space. It's on par with its peers. Unfortunately, it doesn't pass the anti-trolley's length test. So see, fail. But of course, if you shift it around, it'll swallow check-in luggage, anti-trolley length test, and then some. But a problem. Because there's a load lip right here, you can't actually drag heavy items out. You kind of have to do a bit of leg work and like, lift the thing up and like, you know, all that kinds of stuff. But of course, this lip kind of helps you make sure that things are in place and doesn't slide out when you open up. Things don't like fall out. So that's always a good thing, but I would prefer if it doesn't come with a load lip. It's just makes things a lot easier. There's a lot of nettings around here, the whole stuff in place. You've got hooks if you need to tapao food. And of course, as with most SUVs, you get these levers on both sides to knock down the rear seats. So I can actually just knock it down like this. Only problem is you'll have to manually push down the seats like that. Now when this is done, it's not exactly flat. You don't exactly get a flat floor, but it's nevertheless spacious enough for you to haul furniture around. The Audi Q5 Mild Hybrid is priced from $260,000 to $274,000. The 2-litre turbocharged engine produces 245 brake horsepower and 370 Nm of torque. The 7-speed transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 6.3 seconds. For more details on the Audi Q5 Mild Hybrid or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. Now on the inside, this seat has already been adjusted accordingly. I'm still getting ample leg, knee, and of course as an SUV you would come to expect enough headroom. There are several things that I have to point out. First is, despite it being an SUV, yes, you can actually sit 3 people with enough space, but to get the elephant out of the room first, it's kind of difficult because this seat here, while comfortable and while as soft and supple as the seats at the sides, you're kind of faced with like a huge yes, honestly you can still fit 3, which I've tried before, you can, but it's just not as comfortable as having 2, you know what I mean? And when it's in just 2 packs, right, you get to enjoy like this. sit down and relax and just chill out. And best of all is you can actually recline your seats. You can actually just push all the way back or sit up front a little bit, or so you can just do all this kinds of stuff, which is very relaxing. You don't actually feel like you're sitting too upright, it's too uncomfortable. It's just right. And it's actually not shown, which means the cup holders, when you're not using it, you just put it down and it's just perfect. But of course, if you need it, then you have this two really small cup holders that will probably fit canned drinks at best. My water bottle is definitely a no-no. And get this. If you have kids like me, there are obviously ISOFIX points here and here as well. It's all covered up nicely here, so you can just plug it in properly. Just don't lose the casing because it looks like it's very easily losable. but of course, there are several things that I really like about the car. Obviously, materials are just top notch. It is soft to the touch, and this right here is just really tells you just how premium the car really is. I particularly like this interior color that's grey. I usually like my cars black, but I really feel very attracted to the one in grey because it just feels very fresh. It gives you a very nice cabin ambient as a whole, very light colored, very airy. You can probably go for a beige or a brown, but that's not my cup of tea. This is actually very good for me. And of course, the best thing that you can possibly ask for is this. Climate controls, rear convents. For a hot day like this is the place to be, man. To the front. Now at the cockpit, there's a unity design. Right here, everything just feels right, looks right, fits right. Audi sort of gets away with this 10.1-inch infotainment system, touch screen no less, and best of all, it's not laggy at all. You can keep doing this until you go dizzy, but yeah, there's no lag at all. And it also comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard, wireless no less. In the past, there was actually a rotary knob in the center right here, which is also why the gear lever sports a flat top. It's for you to rest your arms so they can meddle with the rotary knob that controls the MMI or the infotainment system. But now Audi did away with that, decided to do it with a touch screen that sort of leaves a bit of fingerprint marks on there, but it doesn't really matter. What really matters is this. This is now a cubby hole. I don't know what you can put inside there. It's small enough for you to put wallet and some coins, but that will just cause a bit of a ruckus when you're driving. You can put a phone here, it fits, but get this, my phone seems to be too long, so it feels like it'll just roll all around. And then there's another cubby hole right here that it's not wireless charging, probably wallet and more stuff. But the one thing that I really don't get is this. I don't know what this is for. It's too shallow. It's actually just like this. Maybe you can put cards. I tried putting a card there and it just feels like half of my card is popping out. However, what's really cool is that the wireless charging is here and not anywhere else like other cars. Is right here. How cool is this? Now what's even cooler is that you can actually just push it back and if a cup holder is right here. I mean, normal size cup holders, but your phone is still charging as you roll in and out of this. On that note of cup holders, if you've got a huge water bottle like I do and you can't really fit it in a lot of cars, which I can't, including my own, well, the Audi Q5 will swallow this water bottle with ease at the pockets at the door panel. There you go. But anyway, I digress. I'm just very happy that there's a car that can actually fit my water bottle. Now this right here, you've got a wide and rather long storage space. Unfortunately, it is quite shallow. You can still fit a lot of stuff, not to worry. And you get one USB-C port right here, so it will get the job done. Now that this is all covered, the steering wheel, multifunctional, very simply laid out, very straightforward, and no less premium to the touch. Now, like some cars in its class, you have like a lot of nice, snazzy sort of buttons. It's just really overwhelming. It just feels like there's too many things going on. But this, Audi decides to keep it simple, minimalist at best, which is always a good thing. And beyond that is a 12.3-inch instrument panel, fully digitalized, and you can actually customize how you want it to look. For instance, I've got two little things right here, right? And if, let's say, I want to look at the Navi, all I have to do is just press the view button. My Teco just shrinks down and shows you a full width of the navigation. So that kind of gives you a big screen. And you can really appreciate something like this, especially when you're on the Navi. But on that note of these buttons, can you actually hear it? How good it actually sounds. You just feel like there's some engineering thought put into this. They don't just get some buttons and just like, just plonk it in there for the driver. No, it's actually some thought put into it. And it's really, really cool for Audi to do something like this. Elsewhere, everything looks fine, soft to the touch, premium. Other than that, everything looks good, feels good. Only question is, can it drive as well and comfortable as it looks and feels? One way to find out. So a little bit about the 2-litre engine on the Audi Q5. It pumps out 245 brake horsepower and 370 Newton meters of twisting force to all 4 wheels, because the Q5 comes with a quattro all-wheel drive system. But more than just these figures is the 12-volt mild hybrid system that I want to touch on. Like all new Audi models that were launched recently that come with mild hybrid systems, the system in the Audi Q5, it works behind the scenes. So it powers all the electronics, aircon, what have you. And get this, because of the 12-volt mild hybrid system, start-stop is done so very, very seamlessly. And best of all is when you're cruising on the highway or going down slope, the car will actually go into coasting mode. You'll actually see the word coasting appearing on the instrument panel itself. All you have to do is just reach a cruising speed, lift your leg off the accelerator pedal, and the engine will cut off and you'll just go into coasting mode. And it's done so very seamlessly that you don't even realize that you're in coasting mode unless you're constantly peeking at the instrument panel. And should you decide to try and drive the Audi Q5 a little bit more dynamically, it will still hold its own well. When you go through bends like this, right, just short bends, you can still feel the roll a fair bit, but it's still relatively well controlled. It's obviously not as stiff since this car is all comfort biased and all. The Q5, in short, isn't trying to be something it's not. It doesn't pretend to be sporty. It doesn't pretend to be something that's trying to excite you or ignite some sort of fire and passion within you. It's not made to be like this, the Q5. It's just made to ferry you, your family, in comfort. So, the most important question of all, will buy, won't buy, or go try the Audi Q5? My answer, go try the car, because it's mighty luxury. I love just how minimalistic and modern the cabin really is. There are a lot of smart things inside the car. The attention to detail is just impeccable, and I've always appreciated Audis for that. Secondly, space. It's perfect for the family. I mean, we're talking about space that would fit 5. You're talking about boot space of 550 liters, which is definitely on par with, or even better than, its competitors. And I think most of all is how comfortable this car really is. It's very relaxing, it's soothing. I mean, what's to complain? Well, one thing. The reason why I said go try is really because despite this being the perfectly sized SUV with all the luxury bits to make you feel just a few notches above from your neighbor or your relative, it's the price. This car will set you back some $274,000 because this comes with the S-Line trim. Thankfully, Audi has a slightly more affordable variant, the what we will call the base variant. So it's still essentially the same Audi Q5 that you'll be driving, but without the S-Line trim. Now that will save you some $12,000 to $14,000, just like that. Now that car, if I drive it, maybe I will buy. But for this car at this price point, I'd say it's a go try. So there you have it, guys. That is the review of the facelifted Audi Q5 Mild Hybrid. Hope you guys enjoyed the review as much as I have driven the car. Please do share the video with your friends and families, and do also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to comment in the comment box below and let us know whether or not you will buy, won't buy, or go try the Audi Q5. Q5. Also follow us on TikTok at sgCarMart, just to keep you guys entertained. Why not? In the meantime, stay safe, be well. Ciao.